Welcome viewers to another video from Time to Go. In this video we're going to be looking at the Ender 7. They were only made in 2021. I think they were in June when they were released. But now they very soon got a not a good reputation, but I don't know why. They look a really, really good printer. Some people really liked them and other people hated them. And what they decided to do, Creality, is stop making it. But that's all good for me because eventually these prices have come down. This one here was purchased for only 199 UK pounds. When these first came out, they were about 500 pounds or 550 pounds, something like that. So it's quite a bargain printer if it works okay, if we can get it going and make it do some decent prints. Apparently the printing quality wasn't very good on it, but as you know, on this channel we do tinkering, and we're going to take this, put it together, give it a quick print, and we're going to start modifying it and making it print as good as we possibly can. So just to give you a bit of information regarding the printer, here is the printer here. First of all, let's go to this is the Creality website where it's advertising the printer. And in the store, if you click on the store and buy now, you won't get anything because it's obsolete. It's not available anymore. But it looks a really decent printer. And when this came out, I was after this printer, but I'd already bought an Ender 6 just before it was released. So I didn't get this printer. So if you look at the specs of this printer, it says it's beyond fast. It's 250 millimeters printing speed. And at the time, Clipper wasn't widely available anywhere, and I don't think the Sonic pad was available then either, but it is now, and that's what I plan to do on this, put the Sonic pad on it eventually and get it printing a little bit faster. So stock, it should do 250 millimeters per second, which is reasonably fast anyway. It's got linear rails, which is the reason that I want this one, because I want to, even if I have to modify, put new boards in it or something like that, the mechanics is probably the most important part of the printer. Everything else can be changed. You can put new nozzles on, you can change the bed type. If it doesn't stick properly, you can change that. So that's not an issue for me. I can work with all that, and I want to modify this one anyway. So it has linear rails. That's good. It's a Core XY printer, so it's it can be print pretty fast. It says it has a high volume nozzle. We'll have a look at how that's done once we take it apart. It has big, high, powerful motors for the drive, and it has twin cooling fans on the extruder. So they're advertising the 250 speed quite a lot, so they think it's a fast printer, as you can see here. And they say they can get you can get really good quality out of it, and it's 5 times faster than a standard printer, which a normal printer runs about 50. This one's going to run 250. But for me personally, the quality is worth more than the actual speed for me personally. So here it's saying utilizing linear rail technology to reduce movement resistance and lower level to a low level, high precision positioning, and yet comes with high speed stable movement, which linear bearings are always better. And the thing I like about this printer is the linear bearings are all mounted on a completely solid one-piece metal frame, and that has to be a really, really good thing. And if all else fails, this would be nice to make another printer out of, because it's a nice, the whole mechanism is right way on the top. So it has got a Core XY. That means it has 2 motors controlling the X and Y, and they work in conjunction to make it work properly. It has a metal extruder. It's a basic extruder, dual gear extruder. It's not a direct drive, but it might end up being a direct drive once we finish with it. Here they're saying the motors are pretty big. It's utilizing the customized 4260 high powered stepper motor, and they have some special big drivers in here, and can't remember the name of them, but when we open the printer up, we'll have a look in the bottom of the base and see what they are. It's not your standard drivers. And the hot end, it says it can go up to 260 degrees, and it has twin fans, one on either side. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cough today. So yeah, it's got good blowing on the part cooling. And here's some of the specs of the printer. Its printing size is 250 by 250 by 300, as you can see here. The machine itself is 430 by 460 by 570, and it's 22 kilos, which is quite a weight for a printer. It's got a carbon emblem glass bed, and the bed can go up to 100 degrees, and the power rating is only 350 watts. So I'm looking forward to taking this out, open this up and seeing how it goes. And there is a video here that shows you an advertising video, which you can watch on YouTube if you wanted to. If you went down onto the Creality website, you'd be able to look at that. So there it is. Now, if you look at this site here, they were selling that at $489 before it was obsolete. And this was a nice looking printer. I like the look of it. It's nice and modern. It looks really well. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to first of all take the box. We're going to open the box. I'm not sure whether I'm going to fit it on this desk here to put it together, but we're going to try and do our best to take all the parts out today on this video, and we'll see how far we go, and we might start putting it together. If not, we will stop the video and we will put it together on another live stream, which will be on Sunday. We'll complete the build of this if we don't get there. So I'm going to first of all get a knife. I'm going to use this nice sharp modeling knife. Excuse me while I stand up. If I just I can just modify this for a little bit. If we do that, you can see. So we're going to take the punch out of the box. I might have to put this on the floor because I might take all the bits out, put them on the floor, then put them on the safe. So I haven't got much space here. So I've always liked this printer. One, it's a Core XY. And two, because it looks really, really nice and robust and solid. So I'm going to have to put this on the floor because nothing's going to go. So it's quite heavy. So I'm going to put it on the floor here. That's if I don't put my back out. So have the printer in the box. First thing out of the box, I'm not going to go through these too quick. It's quite boring really, but that's just the mains lead. Then we have a bit of packaging. They give you a manual. They give you a spool of filament, which is 500 grams, which is not too bad. It's I'll use it for something or other, I guess. Then that's this here, which looks like a box of tools or something. So if you have a look at this, this is what you get inside. There's the manual for one. There's that there. We're not going to look at that for now. Manual, and inside this box here, work out how to open it. Like so. The bits and pieces we have the basic stock Creality toolkits, where you get a spanner, a few cable ties in there. There's a nozzle cleaner in there as well, and as you always get with the Creality printers, pair of side cutters, as if I haven't got enough pairs of side cutters anyway. Yeah, they're just they'll go in the drawer and use one day, I suppose, but not quite yet. And then it's always good to have a spare pair of pliers, side cutters. You also get a USB and an USB adapter, and also an 8 gig SD card. A couple of replacement nozzles, and some clips. I presume they're for the cable that goes on the back of the printer. There's an American lead there. We ain't gonna use that. Scraper. And a bag full of screws, and I presume they're going to be used for when you put it all together. But yeah, it's just a bag of old bits and pieces in there, and we'll get to that when we start putting it together. Let's see what's in the box. Right, so we have, this comes out of the box here. This looks like it's the gantry. It all looks very, very nice. Let's see if you can see that there. You've got your extruder here. Just take the plastic off it. So there's the gantry. Should be okay there. So that's upside down, of course, but let's see if we can get a better picture of that. As you can see, they do have linear rails, which is very nice. I like that, and it looks well built. There's a switch there for something, I don't know what. That's probably for the bed, I guess. This outer part is plastic on the front. Got the this metal railing they have here, the metal framework. It's an aluminium piece of metal all the way around. And to see how thick that is, because it's quite a thick piece of aluminium. That it's about 8 millimeters thick. So this frame that's here is 8 millimeters thick aluminium all the way around one solid piece. Two motors, your XY motors are here. There's your X and Y motors. There's your extruder. It looks very nice. Bolted onto the linear rail. And I'm not going to try and move it too much, but shall I get it connected up? But we'll see how that works. And here you have the all metal extruder. Yeah, looks pretty nice. And you've also got a filament run out sensor here. So there's the gantry. I like it. It's looking good. So let's put that back up there. So far, I'm liking the look of it. I'm going to put this down on the floor. Try and find somewhere to put it. I'm going to go for the next part that we can find in the box. And there's that, which is one of the supports for the top gantry. Connects the gantry to the base. There's another one of the supports. Two. There should be another one in here somewhere. And here's the third one. Now, this looks very nice. So here we have, this is the Z-axis. If you look at this here, it's very well built. It's got an anti-backlash nut on there, which will help. And I don't think this is going to move. They say that you get a bit of flex on this, but I can't see it myself because that's very, very solid. If you look at this here, you have these two parts that run up and down on rollers, like so, which holds the bed. And there's two of them, one either side. Then you have the stepper motor in the middle, driving through a coupling, which drives the screw, the lead screw, like so. One thing I will probably do is there's no bearing in the top here, so this can flop about unless there's something in the bag or something, I don't know. But that will flop around. So I'm going to make a little bush or something to go in there. So when you get a new printer, it's better to first of all go through everything that's on the printer and check it mechanically. So before I assemble this printer, I'm going to check all the nuts and bolts to make sure it's been put together properly in the factory. Because if you just assume people have done it, there might be a loose bolt or something missing that shouldn't be there, but quality, pretty good so far. Quite happy with that. So I've got them bits. We also have this here, which is this is the bed of the printer. Now it's an all manual bed leveling. There's no auto bed leveling, but you can fit a BL Touch on here, and that's what we'd probably do. We'll fit a BL Touch onto this machine. I've got one, and we'll convert it to auto leveling. I'm not really a fan on auto leveling, but you don't have to use it as long as it's fitted. Because I think once you've leveled the printer off, if everything mechanically stays the same, it should never move. It should always be the same. They've got a little bit of, this is like a PCB type, you can just about see the element which is attached to the base of this aluminium, extruded aluminium plate. And they've been a bit stingy on the heat shield here, the insulation, because they've missed off these corners here, and they've missed off this corner here. So as you can see, the heat's going to disappear. So I might cover them up with a bit more heat shield there, heat shield on the bits that they've missed. So there's the bed. It looks pretty nice. And these clips, apparently these clips coming up, these clips, they just open and close like that. They should just open like that. And they close like that to lock the bed in place, but we'll look at that when we put it together. It's got a decent connection on the back. That ain't going to go anywhere. It's nice and solid. It all looks good. And that must plug into the base, I guess, for the bed. So that's the bed. And we should have, you have this in the box, which is I presume a cover for something for the cables. Here's the final part, which is the base unit. It looks quite big, to be honest. It is big. Just about fits on my table. So there you have it. There's the base. And if you look underneath, we have, well, on the side, first of all, we have the power connection here, which is the on-off switch, 240-volt power in. You also have a selector switch here. Depending on what country you come from, we want to make sure this is on 240 volts, and it says 240, 230 in there, so we're happy with that. We're on the right voltage. And I'm going to take this apart, but not just yet. I'm going to put it together, then take the bottom off it. So this is everything here. Now I might just put the back, this first part on here. Let's get rid of this. Let me get rid of this bed. I'm going to put it in a box. Now this here is the first part you're supposed to put on. It's this here. This is the Z-axis, and this Z-axis goes into here. So if you look at that there now, I'm going to put that into there. That rests on there like that. And there's a clip in the back. There's a plug in the back for the Z-axis motor. It's just on the back. And, I'll probably show you that there. I can do this. There's where you plug the Z-axis motor in. So if we just pull it out of there, you can see there's the plug for the motor. You plug that into there first, like so. And then once you've done that, have that there. You can't see that. Let's put it back onto there. Let's refer to the manual, shall we? But that's what the manual is for. I'm going to put this Z-axis on. There's 4 screws which we need to bolt in. Probably in this packet here. And they give you in the box some Allen keys to do the job. I have Allen keys here, but I'm going to use the ones they supply. Why not? That there's a spanner for the nozzle. Now I have to remember this printer here cost me £199, which is extremely cheap, I think, for the type of printer it is. But it didn't get very good reviews when it was made, when it came out. And I'm going to try and see if these people who've made the reviews are actually right or wrong. I've either wasted £199 or I've got a bargain. We'll have to see which one it is. So if you look in the manual, but that's probably the best thing to do. Here is the manual. Probably can't see it very well from there, but it says here, installation steps. The first thing shows you the screws. Step 1 is, it's in Chinese, so I don't know if there's any English in here. I can't see any English at all in this manual. It's all Chinese. There's a little bit of English. Step 1, use 5 M5 times 18 screws to install the Z-axis module. So I'm looking for M5 by 18s. So in this packet here, there should be some M5 by 18s. Now I don't want to lose anything, so I'm going to get a little container from somewhere. Now, I usually have them around here, but I haven't got one. No, I think I've lost my containers I used to have around here. I don't know where they are. So I'm going to have this container here and stick all my nuts and bolts and screws in it. These are the M5s, I think. Yeah, M4s. M5 by 18s have got to be these. I'm just going to measure them to be sure. Make sure they are M5 by 18s. Then I think they're all the same size anyway. So it's saying put these into here, which we shall do. There's 4 screws here. There's 2 on that side, 2 on this side. So we're just going to get them in there, hopefully. They line up. And Creality equipment, printers and things, that most of my printers are Creality printers. I've got the Prusa's and the FL Suns and everything else, but I never had any problems with the Creality printers. But I don't mind tinkering. The first thing to do to get a Creality printer is make sure everything's nice and is all in good condition. And everything's tightened up properly. And let's see if that goes in there. Yeah, we're good there. So I'm going to put these in here for now. Bolt this back Z-axis on, and then I'm going to bolt them up so they're not too tight. So they're just basically hand tight and then turned a quarter of a turn. Because when we put the top on here, we want to be able to get it all into position before we tighten them all up. A little bit stiff, these screws, I must admit. I don't know whether that's the screws or whether it's the thread it's going into, but it is tight. But as long as they don't come out, I suppose that's a bonus. We're nearly there. Takes a little bit of this one's really tight. It's not slacking anyway. I want to do this one as well. What I might do, I might get this into a position where we've got the gantry on the top. I think we ought to put this on first. The good thing, I like putting prints together from scratch. You buy a new one, it's always a little bit of a challenge when you take them apart and swap them over. They can take a new printer out of the box. I'm not one for reading the instructions full off, but because once you've done a couple of printers, built a couple of printers, you get an idea of how they go together, especially the Creality ones. They're quite straightforward. They're not really difficult. Anybody can put them together, really. You don't have to be an expert in anything. So the idea with this printer is when I've put it together and I start working with it, I'm going to use this as basically a test bed for other projects I have on going to be doing. So there are, that's now bolted down. The 3 screws are attached. Sorry, the 4 screws are attached. This base is solid, and that's now ready to put the step 2. Let's see what step 2 is, shall we? So step 2 is to put these on. These are the other 2 verticals. Now I've been watching a couple of videos, and this screw here that protrudes a bit should go to the top, and the flat side go to the bottom. So that goes like that, and it's held on with M5 by 18 screws again. So these M5 by 18s are quite getting the use. They're into there. So I'm going to bolt them into there like that. They're all a bit tight, but I think what it is, they've got a bit of paint on them or something like that, and that's why they're a bit tight to start off with. We'll see. That one's loose. That one is not going in at all. That's it. So nip these down, take them down so they're just nipped up slightly. That one's really tight as well. So the one thing you want to note is these screws going into the base, they are very tight. And if you had an electric screwdriver, it would make it a little bit easier. Manual is okay. It's looking like it's going to be quite a big printer. I'm hoping that it'll connect up to the Sonic pad, because I have the Sonic pad on the Ender 2 Pro, as you probably know if you've been watching my previous videos. And if all goes well, this is going to be connected to the Sonic pad once I give it a test on the current firmware that's on it, which is the Marlin firmware. Might have to go with upgrading onto the new Marlin firmware. I don't know yet. I want to build it, give it a quick bit of testing, see how it is, and we decide which way we go with it. Nothing definite or anything. Remember? So we're nearly down there. Fairly stick down, to be honest. It's solid. It's definitely going to be a solid printer. These screws here are M5 screws by 18. The Allen keys are pretty good. They seem to be decent enough to get the job done. So it'd probably take about half an hour to put this together if you were doing it and nothing else. And I've got a very, very small table. There's not a lot of space here. So once I've built this, I don't know where I'm going to put it. I've got about 17 or 18 printers now, and I keep buying them, so I must be quite addicted to printers. So I'm going to make this video, I'm going to do about an hour on this video, and then when we get to an hour, I'm going to hold it and complete it in another video. And that'll probably be done on Saturday. So here's the next one, making sure that that screw there is on the top, goes on there, and that when I put that on there, that is step 2 completed. Probably can't see that there, but there. Upside down. Yeah, so step 1 is putting the Z-axis in. It's on the back. Step 2 is putting the 2 outer pillars on, and step 3 is putting the print bed on. So we're going to get this one on, sure. So yeah, we're nearly there. Once we get these in here, might even get the gantry on the top. But this saying you've got to put the base, we have to put the base on first before we put the gantry on. So the bed, the print bed. Now, if you had to go out and buy all these parts for this printer, you could never buy all the bits for £200. Never. So from the point of view of what you get a printer all made, packaged. It's just incredible. And if it prints all right, it's a bit of a bonus. But it should print all right. I've never had any problems with Creality printers. I've always been able to get them working pretty well. This printer is now obsolete. You can't buy this. Well, you can buy it, and most of the vendors who are selling printers, they've probably tried to get rid of them now. And as you can see from this if I show you this here, this is the Creality website, but if you look here, this is where I purchased mine from, and I'll leave that there for a moment. It's from a technology outlet, UK. And they're the only ones selling this one at £199. Because if you look at other websites, which is such as this one here, you see the same printer currently is 354. So, you know, shop if you're looking for the Ender 7 or a printer like this, then I would recommend you make sure you look around before you buy it, because this printer is dropping in price like a stone, and 199 is well worth it. So yeah, if you've got the cash and you're looking for a printer, I don't think you can go wrong with this. But as we don't go out and buy it yet, wait till we put this one together, and once we've put it together and we see if it physically prints okay, and if it's not too difficult to set up for people who don't want to tinker, basically, because you can make any printer work if you put enough effort into it. And I think it'd be alright for a general printer. What can you buy for 200 quid these days? Not a lot. So we've now got them in. What are we doing for time? We've got we've been going for 37 minutes, so I might just get this started and get rid of all the stuff. Get rid of, when you put printers together, you get all sorts of bits and pieces. That's off the back of it, so we'll need that. Put the knife away because I might cut hands on it. Now, on the third step, they're telling us to put this in here, which is the base, the print bed. And the print bed attaches by these screws here and some screws in there. So if we take notice of the manual, which is here, the manual says, you can see that there. There's the manual. So step 3 is to put this on there. So you have to, it doesn't tell you exactly where to put the screws, but let me see, use 4 M4 by 6 combination screws to install the printing platform. So there should be some, these ones here, so these are the ones we're looking for. And it says we should use 6. How many is there? How many is there in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 8 of them. And I'm going to put them on top of here. So this goes onto here. I haven't tightened anything down yet, so let me see if I can get a better picture of that while I'm doing it. Awkward, so it's not like that. You can see that. I don't know. Let's look. Okay, see the platform there. Screws from there. 1. First of all, I'm going to put this up to here. And I can see why they put this on first, because if you had the top on, it'd be a bit more difficult. Well, I'm going to put this back to here. And what we're going to do is there's 2 screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and 2 there. And these fit into these holes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. So let's see how we get on with that. It's actually going to there. I should. Line it out. Probably. So once you get one, we're going to get one in. And then like that. Using a screw there, the Allen key. One. You have to get a couple to support it first. So now we've got 2 holes in it. That shouldn't drop, I don't think. And then what we have to do is lift this up here. The 2 in here. Now it's hard to see what I'm doing here. See if I turn this round. Like so. See a bit better there what I'm doing. So I'm going to lift this little part, this part up here, like so. So I've lifted this upwards, and now I can see the 2 screws into there. Now it's becoming a little bit more solid. Two screw holes here. I think they're for the filament holder. So I'm going to put them 2 in there. And basically these holes here, this one here, and this one here, that one there, and that one there, are duplicated on this side. So there's 8 screws to hold the base on, or the print bed, shall I say. So I'm going to get all these screws in, knit them all up. They're going in quite easily, these ones, to be honest. In there like that. Go in there. Now these rollers will have to be adjusted as well, because to make sure there's no play in them. We could do that near the end. So there's 4 screws to go in the back. There's 2 screws. So use the 6. There's 6. Let's install the top components. Done that. And use M4 by 10 round head screws to install the rack. Done that. So that's there. We need to screw these into here. We need more screws. 4 more. So these ones are going to go into the back. Which are 4 times. Now somewhere you have to use the rated washers. I'm not sure what they were for. But, use the 4 M6 screws to so I didn't happen. Alright, okay. I'm just going to keep bolting them in. This one's a bit not lined up properly. It will be in a moment. That's going in on it. 2 screws. Yeah. Now these ones are a little bit fiddly to line up because you have to pull this apart a little bit. You have to pull this metal frame here outwards a little bit to be able to get that screw in there. And we've got one more of them somewhere. Hopefully when we finished it we'll have no screws left. So I'm going to tighten these up tight because that looks pretty solid. And it should wind up and down here. Sorry. It's quite a heavy platform, I must say. It's a lot of weight for that motor to turn. As you can see now, I'm moving the motor here and the whole platform is lifting up. So what we're going to do now, we're going to tighten these screws here. Make sure they're all tight and secure. There's 4 screws on the back. And there's 8 screws on the top here. I'm not going to do any adjustment to the roller bearings. I'm going to do that all last once I get it all in position. So I'm just tightening the 4 back screws up. That's these 2 here. And the same on the other side. And then I'm going to tighten up these 2 screws here. And I can't get that in long ways there because of that nice and tight. Same this one. Now it's hard to get into them, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put down a key like that. And if I had my pliers, I need to be able to, I can't get the movements on that I want. That's better. Do the same with these. You're quite limited with your movement on the Allen key, so you have to be a little bit careful when you tighten them. Use the Allen key with the long short section in the Allen key and the long part as leverage to get a good see right in the wrong place there. You can get it from here. Just in the wrong place. What I might have to do is use my other Allen keys. So there, I've got that one. That one. Make sure you get them all. That's it, we're getting in there. Got a few more to do. 4 more to do actually. So I'm going to it's on here. Tighten all these screws up. Might put the top on it and then I'm going to call it a day. And we'll finish it all off in the next stream. So I've tightened all them screws. This is all wobbly because we haven't got a top on it yet. That's what we're going to do now. So now we've got the platform done. We're going to place this on top. Now this one has a sticker on the front, and that goes over that way. And it should fit in nicely. There's some cables here. You can't see it, but there's some cables under here. You want to make sure you don't nip the motor cables. So that's that there. Yeah, there's motor cables under here, which you want to make sure you don't nip. Make sure they're free, which they are. These won't click on there. So now you've got them all in. The thing to watch is under here, you have some cables for the motor. Let's get that bit focused. These cables here, it's very tight with this bracket here, so make sure you don't clamp any of the cables. It's the same on the other side. And once you've done that, you get the screws into here. I'm going to put 2 in there. Along the lanky. A little bit fiddly. What I might do is do these ones first. I think once you get one in, I think the rest are going to be easier. So there's one in, so it ain't going to move anywhere now. It won't fall off. I'm going to put all these in loose. That's better. So I'm just screwing. You can't see that there, but printer as well. Oh, and this is a glass table, so I don't want to break it. Well, here's your screws here. That's 2 of them. There's 2 there as well. There's 1 there on the other side. So I'm going to get all of them in loose. There's another one there. This holds the back column up to the Z-axis. And here you've got a plug for the for this cable here, which fits into there. The plug fits into there. I'll plug that in later date. So we're running out of screws, which is a good thing, because it means we haven't got much more to do. I'm going to have to keep turning this, I'm afraid, just to get the it's not very light under here. It's all a bit of light on the, so I might make it a bit better. So yeah, we're going to tighten these ones up here. This one. Feel it clicking into position as well. So like that one as well. If I had a better camera setup, it would make it a bit easier, but I haven't currently, so I have to make do with what I've got. I'll tell you what, make sure you've got a good back if you get with this printer, because everything is really heavy. It ain't going to move around. I can tell you that much for sure. And we'll see how stiff it is. Once we get all these screws in, we'll see how stiff it is. I'm going to finish this off, I think. I decided I'm going for it. Get it all basically together. And once it's all basically together, we'll do the setting up in the next video. The tightening of all the bolts and checking everything and all that whatnot. So there's another screw going in there. Now I've got 4 more left after this, which is the exact amount. They give you just the right amount of screws, which is okay. So we have just to have these to do now. There's the metal extruder. Looks pretty good. There's the final 4 screws we're going to put in. Fits together okay, and everything's all nice and flush, and it looks really good so far, shall we say. Let's see what happens as we get on. So there's another screw there, and there. There. All the screws are gone. Well, there's 2 left here, but therefore the spool holder, I think. So I think now's the time I'm going to nip these up. The top ones I'm going to nip up first. That's the right thing. I'll nip them up so they're just about tight. Make sure I haven't done anything wrong. I don't like that. So let's get this one in. That's in. I'm not going to turn it around again for a moment. I'll get these tight. I'm going to tighten the top screws. And then what I'll do, I'll turn it around and tighten the bottom screws. Yeah. Got a big printer. It's big enough, solid enough. It should get some good print out of this, I'm hoping. But we're nearly there. So I've got to nip these up now, and then we're done. Excuse me while I'm around here. I'll tighten these back ones up pretty solid now, so they don't have to be tightened up again. But get them really tight. So the Z-axis screws are now, the Z-axis top screws, should I say, are now all tight. This one here on the left of the machine, on the top, I'm going to check all 4, make sure they're really tight. And make sure we don't miss any out. That one was quite loose. It's tight now. I'm expecting it to perform pretty well because it's a Core XY. It should be nice and smooth. I would have thought. I'll tighten them all up nice and tight. Now I have a couple of these extruders, so I have no shortage of them type of extruders. I'll probably end up taking that out and putting a different extruder in it. Or even changing it to a direct drive. That's my ultimate goal. So the top ones are tightened. I'm just going to tighten the bottom ones now, which are these ones here. Just going to tighten these all on the bottom. And then all I have to do is sort out the V-rollers. So once I've done these 4 here, I'm going to do the other 4 on the other side. And then I'm going to do the back 4. Nearly there. I've been saying that for about half an hour now, so that's that one done. We'll turn it around. Do these 2 here. Tighten these ones. It all fits pretty good. It looks well made. It's solid. It's looking to be a good printer. Let's hope it does well when it prints. So I've tightened all the screws apart from the Z-axis on the bottom, and that's what I'm going to do next. One more screw to go. This one here. So all the screws have been tightened apart from the ones on the back of the Z-axis. I'm going to do that one, which is these 2 and 2 on the other side, on this side. So we'll do this one on the side first. Once I've done this side, we'll turn it. And then what I'm going to do once the stream's finished, I will make sure all these nuts and bolts, all these screws are tight. So I'm ready for doing the second video where we finish it off. And we'll probably get a print out of it, I think. I've looked on Creality Slicer, which I have for I have the K1 Max, and in Creality Slicer, or Creality Print as it is, this one is still in there as a model, as a printer. So we'll set it up on the Creality Print initially. So there we have before we go, let's just do one more thing we need to do, and that is this lead here, which is this one. It comes out at the bottom of the printer here. It goes up here, up there, and it plugs into this plug here. So that goes into there. So I'll plug that into there, like so. And it's these 2 little clips here snap in, and I got in a bag somewhere. In this bag here, which you get with the printer, you get these little covers, and I think they're for here. So we're going to clip one of these on here. That just goes over there like so and clips in, I believe. Could be wrong. holds that nice and secure. And if you put one halfway, I would say, which would be about here, say, let's put one there. Like so. And the final one of these like that goes on the bottom, probably about there. They're nice little clips, good to keep it tied up and make sure it's right in there and it doesn't foul any of these roller bearings. As you can see, it's completely clear. So as this goes up and down, which it will do, it doesn't touch it. So yeah, that's there's another piece here, this part. I think that is for the x-axis. Let's have a look. I think that goes into here. It does. So it's on this machine here. This goes into here. Once they're all tightened, which they are, that clips into there like so. We'll clip that in after once I make sure everything's nice and tight. So there is the basic printer. First impressions is it's a nice printer. It's pretty solid. As you can see, the gantry is here. It should move that way. As the gantry moves that way, and it also moves that way and that way. So we'll see how good and precise that is when we get to the next video. So I have a little bit of clear up to do here. So there we have it. It's the first part of the setting up of the Ender 7 printer, which is there. And there's the printer. It's made. It took us probably for let's say it took about, I think it's about an hour, 29 minutes to an hour, something like that, half an hour to an hour to make that. Here's the screen here. This has got to be plugged in as well, by the way. And on the back of the printer there's a plug for the, I can show you that in the next video, but in the rear of the printer there's a place to plug this in. So we are now ready to go. So I'm going to close the stream here, and in the next video, which will probably be later in the week, we will go through making sure everything's tight, setting up the V-rollers, plugging in the bed, show you where that goes, and getting the print out of it. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.